Hey guys, what's up? It's Surreal, and here's a little story about that time that I DJ'd on an alien spaceship at the top of a mountain at the end of the world in the middle of nowhere, 20 kilometers from the border with China. It was the year 2015. So my manager at the time called me with this offer for this gig at Tawang Festival. Tawang is about 20 kilometers from the China border. So I was flying out of Delhi early morning, land in Guwahati. So we were told it was going to be like a few hours drive. But then this driver starts telling us that, nahi bhai sahab, it's like 2 days. There was no turning back now. We're already there. So driving out of Guwahati, the weather was clear, sun was shining. But as we started, reaching the hills, soon it started raining. The roads are turning to mud. And what was creepy was that like every couple of hours, you would drive by an accident that had like recently happened. Driving into Tawang, it kind of felt like when you're driving into like a little town on a hillside. You can see big buildings that look like monasteries. It was just really peaceful, so green. So driving up now to the actual festival site, and now it's like proper nighttime. And there's no lights on the road. The kind of pitch black darkness, like driving up, and it feels like the road is going to end. And then I'll never forget this sight. The first clear image I had of the festival site, I thought it was an alien spaceship. But as we got closer, we realized that the main stage, they made this stage like an alien spaceship. We're getting deeper into the army base. You turn one corner and there's a big sign. Another sign, warning, landmine testing. And that's where I started to get a little concerned, but all the festival organizers told me that in the famous Indo-China war, back in the days, the war was like waged there. And sure enough, once we got to the festival site, there were remnants of that war there. And that's where we were supposed to bunk for the night. It was the end of the first day of the festival and counted about 40 something people, but that was all of us. It really did not seem like a single ticket buyer was there. When we woke up the next morning, the sun was out, the snow was melting, not huge crowds, but at least 3-4 hippie dudes here. So then when it came time for my set in the evening, it had started snowing. The stage was under a tent, but the dance floor was completely open to the elements. So I said, fine, Tika Chilo, we've come this far, it's time to do what I do. So I set up and I started playing. As soon as I started playing, the storm got worse and 12 people became 8. 8 became like 5. There was a tarp on top of this stage, the tent, that like ripped open. A lot of the water that had been collecting on top just came. The organizers managed to quickly dry up and clean up the booth, and they sealed up the tarp on top of the stage. So I went up and I started playing again. That's when a really magical thing happened. In the distance, this van starts showing up. The van doors open, woman's foot comes out, people are falling into the snow, making snow angels in the snow. Over the course of the last few minutes of my set, it was like desolate disaster zone. It suddenly turned into the area of life and happiness and a party. And I think by the end of the night, there was maybe 200 or so people there. I mean, in a part of the world where there's barely any electricity, we pulled off this electronic music festival. We got to see a flower bloom in the middle of the desert.